Welcome back, everybody, to another Disney World 4-park challenge. I'm going to be park hopping all around Disney World to all 4 parks today to ride every single attraction that has a single rider line. Single rider line is a great way to get on attractions as fast as possible, and I'm going to take advantage of that today. Why don't you guys come along? Let's go make some memories together. Single rider line is a specific queue designed to fill any empty spaces for odd number parties that are already loaded. Many times it can be used to severely reduce wait times for attractions. Just note that any and all parties will be split up and you cannot request a specific seat. It's also wonderful for re-rides if someone in your group wants to ride it again without the long wait. Now for today's challenge, I'm going to be taking the posted time for the attraction, assuming that it's accurate, and taking the time I've actually waited inside the single rider to see if it's truly worth waiting in that single line or not. Obviously, I'm starting off here in the Magic Kingdom, and I'm headed to what's technically an honorable mention. I'm headed into Tomorrowland to jump on Space Mountain. And I say honorable mention because Space Mountain doesn't really have a single rider. I mean, it kind of does. You do have to join the normal queue, but at some point towards the end, you can let a cast member know that you are a solo flyer. You can be set into a separate line that's just a little bit quicker than everyone else. Now this is the only one that's in Magic Kingdom, otherwise Magic Kingdom just has standard standby lines, but I figure given today's 4-part challenge, I would include it. All right, we are a posted 40-minute wait. I'm gonna start the timer and see how long it takes. Space Mountain is an outer space indoor themed roller coaster primarily in the dark with lots of tight twists, turns, and drops. Fun fact, not only is Space Mountain a lot slower than many people think, at only 27 miles an hour, but it's also a Walt Disney World original. Most classic attractions are Disneyland originals, but not this case. It's Disney World. Single rider? Thank you, appreciate that. Thank you. So they actually sent me on the Lightning Lane side, which I wasn't expecting. I thought I was going to be over on the standard one. So this is the Omega route. The other one is Alpha. This is just gonna be even faster, I think, but I am skipping all of Lightning Lane. And we'll see how much longer it takes till I get on the attraction. Space Mountain, as amazing as ever. I often have a hard time deciding whether I like Big Thunder or Space better. I'm going with Space this time just because I just wrote it. But let's talk times. So, posted 40 when I walked in. Very clearly not that. I think it was overinflated due to the weather. In fact, right now the time says it's at a 25, which I think is far more accurate. I stopped the clock 2 times while I was in queue. One at the point where I was done with the regular queue and into the single rider, and then the second one, which is when I actually walked onto the attraction. For the sake of math, we're gonna round up, which means I was in line for regular Space Mountain for a total of 12 minutes. And I was physically onto the attraction at 15 minutes. So again, clearly the 40 minutes was not accurate, but for the sake of consistency, we're gonna count it. I saved a total of 25 minutes by not doing regular standby. Again, this one is an honorable mention because it lacks a true single rider line, but because I wanted to have one here in Magic Kingdom, we counted it. But that means we're done here in Magic Kingdom, which means we are going over to Animal Kingdom for our next attraction. See you guys there. Welcome to Disney's Animal Kingdom, second theme park in our theme park challenge today. We're gonna be heading back to Asia for our next single rider line and our next roller coaster. Expedition Everest, Legend of the Forbidden Mountain. Expedition Everest is one of my personal favorite attractions across the entire property. It's a fairly intense roller coaster, goes both indoors and outdoors. Lots of steep drops, dizzying, backward spiral portions. You also may encounter a terrifying Yeti on your adventure. A couple of fun facts about Expedition Everest. Not only is this the final attraction built at Walt Disney World that is not based on an already existing movie, character, or intellectual property, but it's also notorious for its broken animatronic, the Yeti. It's been stuck in B mode since almost opening in 2006, and now it's been nicknamed Disco Yeti because of its wonderful strobe light effect it has. Lead Imagineer Joe Rohde, who has since retired from the company, has stated that he does want to fix it. But I don't see that happening anytime soon, because that means I have to take apart the entire attraction. Looks like a very busy location here. In fact, the standby actually starts right there. I can see the wait time from right here at a whopping 40 minutes. Over here is the Circazong Bazaar, the gift shop for when you exit the attraction. If you go this way, you can find the single rider entrance. Just like last time, I'm gonna start my timer before I walk in, and this should only take minutes. Expedition Everest is easily a top 5 attraction for me across the entire resort. I ride it every time I'm here at Animal Kingdom, and it is just an absolute thrill. Now let's talk about times. Rounding up, I waited 10 minutes, which is actually kind of long for that single rider. I have waited 2 minutes, 3 minutes before. Granted, I think the weather is kind of throwing everything off because that closes in inclement weather. Anytime there's lightning in a 10-mile radius, every outdoor attraction has to close. So everyone, including those who purchased Genie Plus, are now at that attraction. But still, I saved 30 minutes waiting in the single rider, which is fantastic. So I think it's worth it. Even with a longer time like it was today, totally worth it. But that wraps up Animal Kingdom. Let's go over to Disney's Hollywood Studios for our next 2 single rider attractions. See you guys there. Welcome to Disney's Hollywood Studios and Bright Suns from Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I'm here on the Planet of Batuu, headed towards our next single rider attraction, which is Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. This flight simulator allows you and 5 others to take part in a daring mission being hired by Hondo Ohnaka. You can end up getting one of 3 jobs as flight crew, including pilot, gunner, and engineer. Unfortunately for single riders, most of the time you're gonna end up getting engineer because you, again, are just here to fill a spot. Obviously, pilot is the most fun, but if you're wanting to get on the attraction rather quickly, single rider is the way to go. But fun fact, there's a special way to unlock what's called Chewie mode. If all passengers on the flight fulfill specific requirements before the attraction starts, everyone's favorite Wookiee, Chewbacca, will replace Hondo as the ride's narrator. There she is, the Millennium Falcon. I can't believe Hondo trusts us to fly this thing. Oh wow, whopping 75 minutes. Hopefully we don't wait anything close to that. Single rider is just here to the left. We're gonna hit start on our timer, and hopefully this takes just a few minutes.
Row will be assigned to you.
There are 2 hangar bays you can go to, either left or right. Disney rule says go left. Most people inherently go right, so we're gonna go left. Now in the past, I have immediately been brought on to flights. Like I've literally walked over and said, all right, you're going with this team. So yeah, this could be seconds. And some people don't want to be pilot, which means I could end up being pilot today if someone wants to switch. Thank you.
Gunners, you play the path. Pilots, line up behind the train. And engineers, you harpoon that precious cargo. And as we always say here at Ohnaka Transport Solutions, get out of here and go make Hondo some money.
right, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. That was a very different flight I had this time. I did get lucky enough and that someone did not want to be the pilot. So I said, I will gladly be the pilot. I'm a pretty good left to right pilot. It's usually the role I end up getting. So I felt very comfortable being in that position. With that being said, I don't think everyone knew what to do, which is kind of the issue with this attraction, is that they rely on everyone's ability to pilot, to gunner, to engineer, or else you don't really have a successful flight. So the dad who was sitting next to me, I don't think he knew he was supposed to go up and down, because we were hitting a lot, like a lot. But still an enjoyable attraction. And let's talk about times. Posted 75-minute wait. If you go from when I entered the queue and kept going up until I was seated in the seat, 5 minutes. Granted, by the time I walked to where I was supposed to be and got sorted into my group, it was 2 minutes. I'm gonna count the 5 just to be generous, but I saved 70 minutes. I even told the family in the room if they wanted to go again, jump in the single rider just like I did. And of course, they'll be separated, but totally worth it. That's been our biggest jump so far today. But we're not done here at Hollywood Studios. I have one more attraction to go to, and that's over on Sunset Boulevard. Let's go to Rock and Roller Coaster. Coming down Sunset Boulevard, but not to Tower of Terror, we're gonna hang a left at the very end towards Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith. This is our third and final roller coaster. Launching from 0 to 57 miles per hour in less than 3 seconds, this is the only Walt Disney World attraction that goes upside down. And fun fact, the original band considered for this attraction when they first conceptualized it was U2. I think they made the right decision when going with Aerosmith. I'm not even that big of an Aerosmith fan. Whoa, that says 100 minutes. I don't know if that's inflated or what, but hopefully we don't have to wait that long. Single rider is just over here to the right of Lightning Lane. All right, starting our timer. Now, I've not had the best track record with this single rider. I have waited a very long time, not 100 minutes long, but I could see myself waiting at least half an hour for this. You really don't miss anything by skipping the queue. You kind of just get thrown right into the pre-show, which is nice.
Wait a minute, I love that idea. How about some backstage passes?
Hi, Salad Speed. Listen, I'm gonna need a bigger car. Make it a stretch. In fact, make it a super stretch.
All right, well, Steve and Tyler was kind enough to give us backstage passes. We better get to the show. Rock and Roller Coaster has a very bizarre single rider line. They have a dedicated line for it, like most of the attractions we've been on today, but it feels like it moves at a snail's pace. I sat in the main room that you are in for a majority of my time without the line moving. And then by the time I made it to the pre-show, whereas technically where Disney stops the time, I waited 27 minutes, which is super long. And the way that they pick and choose how to send people feels random. Like you're not there to fill a space yet. That's after the pre-show. So you go in, you view the pre-show, it spits you onto the same line you've kind of been in, and then you continue along like a single rider line, and then at that point, they divvy you up. So I waited a total of 37 minutes out of the possible 100 that the standard queue had, which gave me a savings of 63 minutes. Yes, that is a massive savings, but full transparency, I don't really care for Rock and Roller Coaster. I think there are far more exciting roller coasters that have much shorter waits here at Walt Disney World, and that one, even waiting less than 40 minutes, is still just not worth it to me. It's worth it in a numbers game, but to me, I still don't think that that's worth it. It's my personal, professional opinion, but either way, we still save time. Now, I have one final attraction at one final park, and that's at Epcot. Our fourth and final park brings us here to Epcot for Test Track. Test Track is a ride simulator attraction that lets you create your own digital car and take it to the physical course so you can test out things like inclines, aerodynamics, traction, and ultimately speed. Unfortunately for single riders, there is no car creation simulation because you are there just to fill a seat. You are along for the ride. Fun fact, this is the fastest attraction in all of Walt Disney World at almost 65 miles per hour. So unfortunately, we've ran into our first snag of the day, and it's on our final attraction. It's closed due to technical difficulties. So the park does close in about 45 minutes. I'm gonna hang out here for a little while, see if I can ride it. Hopefully I can. That way we can complete today's challenge. I didn't think I was gonna be pressured for time until just now. Now I'm getting nervous. Brief intermission, I went over to the fry booth to get some fried pickles. I've had these before, had them during Food and Wine. I'll link our 2 Food and Wine videos in the description below so you guys can check those out. Go watch those. Ooh, hot. So we've got some good news, and that's that Test Track is testing on the track. I mean, they're working on getting it open. That's what I mean. That was a horrible joke. Park does close in 20 minutes, so I'm hoping that it does reopen at that point. There's a huge crowd out here for the regular attraction, so hoping that Single Rider is not this busy. And so far, I'm the only one walking up the Single Rider. Thank you so much. Alrighty, we are in. Now I don't have a posted time for this, so unfortunately I don't know what to compare it to. However, we will see how long it takes just in general. Am I the first person in general to make it up here? Yay! This whole car is gonna be made of Single Riders. Go 65, 65, 65. Woo! Well, friends, we did it. We officially completed our 4-park challenge video for today and did every single rider line at Walt Disney World. I was very nervous there for a second because I did not think we were going to be able to do Test Track because it literally came up in the last 10, 15 minutes of the park being open. I was the very first person on in that entire crowd because we were just so quick with the Single Rider. And I was actually wrong about something. Upon walking through the queue, I did see that as a Single Rider, you can make your own car. You just kind of go at your own pace to do it rather than be timed like everyone else in the pre-show room, which you do walk past as you're going through the queue. So you can make it, but none of us chose to. We just chose to walk straight on. I don't really have many numbers to compare this to because it didn't really have a time whenever we went in, but I waited 2 minutes, which was me walking the entire time to get to my car. When I left the attraction, it was a posted 65-minute wait, which means I'm gonna use that number, and I saved 63 minutes waiting in line for Single Rider. Absolutely fantastic. I don't know if that's normal because I've never used Single Rider for Test Track, but tonight was a win. Honestly, today was a win. I got to do so many different attractions in such a record amount of time, and I got a lot done. Things like Rock and Roller Coaster definitely took a lot longer than I wanted it to, but compared to everything else where I waited no more than 15 minutes for any of the other 4 attractions, that was amazing. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys like our video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell so you guys get updates on all of our future adventures, and let me know in the comments, what's the next 4-park challenge we should do? I've been Adrian, and as always, thanks for making memories with us. We'll see you next time.